video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hello guys, I'm Aveline and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today is actually release day for StrangerVille, or StrangerVille is gonna be released today, so I hope you guys are super excited. Let me know who of you actually bought it and are currently downloading it or planning on buying it later today or whatever. Do let me know in the comment section down below. But today we are building the first of my family homes in StrangerVille, so I had a lot of fun with this. I really wanted this house to be just a little bit weird, so I kept adding different shapes to it over and over again just to, you know, make it a little bit quirky basically. So yeah, I hope you guys like this house. It's supposed to be either a Victorian, I think it's mostly supposed to be a Victorian, but I've used those windows that we got with StrangerVille, so I think those are a little bit gothic, to be honest, so it does add a little bit of gothicness to the house, I guess you could say, or not, anyways. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this house, so I hope you guys really like it. It's built on a 30 by 20, and it's built in StrangerVille, like I said before, and it's built in Shady Acres, so that's the area for the more wealthier households. All the houses up here are a little bit bigger. They're all two-story houses as well, and they all look kind of Victorian-esque, I would say, or something like that at least. And yeah, I wanted to build a house up here. It's got a great view, by the way. The view from Shady Acres is amazing. You can see it in the background. It's kind of like, I looked up some pictures of, because I feel like I saw someone say that this area kind of reminded them of Arizona, so I looked up some pictures of Arizona and they were not wrong. This does look a lot like Arizona, at least like from what I could see on pictures, because I've never been there, so what would I really know? But let me know if it does. Like, if you're from Arizona and this looks like Arizona, do let me know. So the house is for two parents, a teen and a kid, and I think the teen's room is mainly supposed to be for a girl, while the kids' room can be for whoever, so you can put whoever you want in there. I didn't really make it too gender specific or anything. I did try to go for the same kind of color scheme throughout the build, by the way, so except from the basement, because the basement was actually a last minute decision, and that's why you'll see it at the very end of the video. After I did the rest of the landscaping, I went back into the house and was like, no, the basement, we need to do something about the basement, because I did place a staircase to the basement. I just wasn't sure if I actually wanted to put something in there, but I decided to go back and turn it into this kind of like, it's a bit like an entertainment room a little bit. There's a big TV down there, along with one of those Don't Wake Up the Llama tables as well, and there's a dartboard and some clutter and a lot of stuff down there. You could also have, I suppose you could have another teen living down there, or a young adult. They just wouldn't have a bed because there's only room for a couch, so they'd have to sleep on the couch, which would suck a little bit, but still, you could if you wanted to. There's even a bathroom down there with a shower and also a hamper in there, so everything should work completely fine if you want a sim living in the basement, sleeping on the couch, but still living in the basement. So yeah. As for the exterior though, this is the first time I'm using these windows, and oh my god, I love them. I love all the different swatches. I could not decide, because there are so many different swatches when it comes to these windows. I couldn't decide what color scheme to go for at all. So I tried out with the light blue kind of swatch to start out with, and I ended up changing it to the white and darker blue, but I kind of also wanted to go for yellow and green at some point. We got this little dormer window which fits the other windows in this pack, and that window just comes in the funniest swatches. Like, there's I think it's an orange and a green, or an orange and a blue or something. There's another one, the one that I was kind of trying to go for at some point was dark blue and purple, but I thought it was a little bit too much for my first house in this area, so I'm gonna save that one for later, but I definitely want to make a purple purple house. That would be funky. Anyways, there is also another one that's green and brown, which is a little bit of a funny color combination to me. And there's a white and yellow, a white and red, white and pink, white and light blue. But then you got like, yeah, the orange and green or orange and blue. There's one that's yellow and blue as well. So there's a lot of like funky color schemes or color swatches when it comes to that dormer window. And I was definitely trying to take inspiration for this house, or the color scheme for this house. So one of the dark blue swatches has like, what is it, dark gray wood panels on it. And I figured I didn't want to make the whole house dark gray. I also didn't want to make the whole house white because I don't actually like all white houses. I feel like they're a little bit boring to me. I like when there's a little bit like play with some different colored wallpapers on the house. You guys know this. I like to just try out different things with the color schemes on my houses or with the wallpapers on my houses. So I wanted to add that little bit of contrast, and I took inspiration from the dormer window. So the house is white and dark gray, and it's just like a little bit here and there that's dark gray. You'll see it in just a second. And personally, I think it adds to the quirkiness because I was really trying to make this house just a little bit weird, because I don't know if it's just me, but personally when I look at the other houses in this area, and I know I'm going to be rebuilding those, so they're not going to look like that, but I was definitely trying to take inspiration from them for this shape of this house, and I personally think they look a little bit strange. Like, they just have like bits and pieces added to them here and there, and that's basically what I was trying to do with this house as well. So I want the houses in this area in my save file to be just a little bit weird, but we're gonna have fun with it. And yeah. Feel free to let me know what kind of personalities you want me to create a house for, by the way. I think I'm gonna keep the Roswells and also the Eclectic Arts household in this area. I think I'm gonna let them live here because they're newer households. I don't have an opinion of them. They haven't crossed me in any way, so they don't deserve to get deleted. Anyways, except from Ted Roswell, he freaks me out. I posted this picture of him on Twitter that's kind of been blowing up a little bit lately because he was holding a fruitcake and he was staring at the camera like really creepily, and I don't know, I had to take a picture of it, but that's the only thing he's done to me so far. Other than that, we're fine, you know, he hasn't done anything really, so other than give me that strange look. So I'm gonna let him be in the save file with his wife Meredith, and then I'm gonna keep the Eclectic Arts household in the save file as well. But let me know, because we got, other than that, we got 3 lots, so 2 more besides from this that we need to build. Or is it 4? Is it 3 or 4? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. But we do have an extra few houses to build in this area, so do let me know if you got any personalities you want me to build for, and I will do my best to include that in the save file. So yeah. I saw everyone build trailers yesterday. It was crazy. Like, I saw at least 6 of the, like 6 different trailers on my sub feed yesterday. I don't watch speed builds. I've talked about this before. It's just a personal choice of mine. It's not that I don't like speed builds. It's just to avoid like subconsciously copying people, so I just don't watch them. But I saw all the trailers on my sub feed and it looked really funny. Like, everyone was just posting trailer after trailer. I still want to do a trailer because that little lot in the trailer park is so freaking cute, and of course I want to do something for that lot, you know, of course I do. So that's going to be happening in the near future. I know that I just built a trailer home, by the way. When was it? Saturday, I think. But StrangerVille is new, and that lot, the surroundings on that lot are just so freaking adorable. So, or I wouldn't say adorable, I just really like that area. It's well made. So I'm looking forward to building on that lot, and we're still going to be building more trailers in Oasis Springs as well. So there's a lot of trailer builds coming up on the channel apparently. I'm sorry if some of you guys don't like trailers, but that's just where the save file is going right now. So yeah, hopefully there'll be some actual houses up at the same time. Hopefully. I'm gonna do my best. So as you can see as well, when it comes to this lot or this house, build, whatever, I didn't leave a lot of space for a backyard, and I am aware of that, but I didn't really feel like they needed a big backyard either, because there's a lot of area to move around in up here in the Shady Acres. So I figured it would be fine. I was considering moving it to a 40 by 30 instead, but honestly, I felt like it was okay not to have a huge backyard. They do end up with, I think, both a grill area and also a gardening area with a flower arrangement table there as well. So they do have a little bit to do in the backyard, but it's not like my usual backyards where they have pools and greenhouses and whatever, gazebos. So yeah, it's definitely a bit on the smaller side, but hopefully it's still okay. I love these doors, by the way. I completely forgot to talk about them before, but I love these doors. If you haven't noticed, by the way, some of them actually have, what's it called? The letter boxes, is that what you call them? I think so, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so you can see that they're front doors, and then the ones that I put on the back don't have letter boxes on them, so they're definitely not front doors, and I really love that. And I love the windows on the front door as well. I just think they're so well made, and I'm gonna be using those a ton just because of the letterbox as well, because we don't really have a lot of doors except from the base game ones. I don't think a lot of the doors actually have letterboxes on them, and it's actually something that's been annoying me a little bit. I can't pinpoint why, but it has. So because I mean, they don't really get letter through the door, you know, anyways, but it's just it's a touch of realism that I feel like has been missing a little bit. I think some of the base game doors do have letterboxes on them, but I think it's just a few of them if I'm not mistaken. I don't really use the base game doors a lot, so I could be wrong, but I really like these doors. I think they're absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to use them more as well, so looking forward to that. Anyways, for the interior, I don't remember if I said before, but we're definitely taking inspiration from the color scheme of the exterior, so we're mainly using white, black, and then blue furniture, and I think I've used quite a lot from Vampires and Get Famous as well, and base game possibly, so that's kind of the vibe we're going for this house. So not my usual kind of interior, and I definitely tried to tone down the clutter a little bit, because I think when you're a richer family, like the one that lives in this house, because I mean they do live in Shady Acres, they have to be wealthier, you know, that's just the rules of this place apparently. So I think when you got a wealthier family like the one living in this house, they wouldn't just have clutter lying everywhere, like books everywhere or plants or I don't know, just random stuff lying around. They would kind of have everything nice and neat. So I was trying to keep the clutter at a minimum. I did try to decorate the place a little bit more, like instead of the clutter, but it's definitely a lot neater than I usually do my builds, so you have been warned. It's a little bit different, but I mean the exterior is also a little bit different from what I have done before, so it does make sense a little bit. It's also not my favorite style of build or house, like architectural style to build, to be honest. I don't know, there's something really frustrating about Victorians, I think, but I want to get better at them, definitely. Also the floor planning, I've included it, but it took me so long. As you can see, because of all the bits and pieces that I've added to the house, it was impossible for a while to do the floor plan. That's just what happens when you go a little bit crazy with the house shape. The interior gets a little bit messy, or the floor planning gets a little bit messy. So it is a bit of a weird floor plan, but I think it works out. It should be fine for gameplay as well. Plus I actually like especially the bottom floor, not so much the top floor. I think the top floor is very strange, but I kind of like the floor plan we went for with the bottom floor. I think it's a little bit different from what I've done before. It's a lot more open, I think, as well. There aren't any hallways, not like long narrow hallways that I would usually put in my floor plans to make sure your Sims could get from room to room without actually having to go through the rooms. So it's a lot more open in that way, and I enjoyed doing that. It was a lot different. Not so many hallways to furnish either. I don't like furnishing hallways. I think they're incredibly boring, so I was happy to kind of get rid of those. I think there's one room that I haven't included in this video, by the way, and that is the first room here, because I basically just put in some bookcases, and there's a chest table, and then there's a couch as well, and a hallway table with a painting over it or above it. And I thought that wasn't too interesting, so I cut that out, also because this video is quite long if you haven't noticed, by the way. So not trying to make it too long. So in the house they have an office, which I was trying to make for just one of the parents, because I think since they are a wealthier family, one of the parents have to have like a higher standing job somewhere. Maybe they're a little bit important even, I don't fully know. But they do have their own office where they can go and be at peace and just, you know, work by themselves, not be interrupted by the kids or the other parent in the house. So they have the office down there, and the entrance to the office is literally from the first room, I think. So it's very secluded from the rest of the house. And then they have this big, I don't want to call it a hallway, but it's the first room you walk into where the bookcases are and the couch and the chess table, and I don't know what kind of room this is. It's kind of like welcome to the house sort of room. Does that make any sense? Possibly not, but I don't fully know what. I suppose it's a hallway, but I don't fully know. Anyways, and then they also have a living room with a fireplace and a TV, and then they have a big open kitchen where there's also a dining area in the same room. So they have everything they need, including the basement where there's just fun and games all day. I just wanted to make sure they had some kind of stuff they could do together, so I put it in the basement, away from all the nice areas, because it's a little bit messy down there. It's basically where I could get to decorate like I usually would. So yeah. So I already knew what color scheme I wanted to go for, and also what kind of furniture style I wanted to go for before I started decorating the house. So this room, for example, didn't take me a long time. I just jumped right into it. I am using that globe thing from Vintage Glamour Stuff Pack that I've been using a lot lately in my offices, but I don't know, I just really like it. It's kind of cozy. I think there's drinks hidden inside of it if I'm not mistaken. I haven't actually played with it before, but I like the look of it. So I ended up putting it in basically all my offices. And then I also used the new bookcases that are from StrangerVille. I think they are beautiful. You can also size them down and they'll work fine when it comes to like the lower wall height, but they're perfect for medium wall height. So I basically just put them everywhere on this floor. On the second floor, I think I used them like twice or something, and then I sized them down so they still fit up there, because I am using the lowest wall height on the second floor, but they still work when you size them down, so that's pretty great. But I really like them. I like the look of them. I think they're beautiful. But anyways, in here we got the kitchen slash dining area, and of course, since they are a wealthy family with a big house. I think this house, by the way, I think it ended up turning out to be 215,000 simoleons. I could be wrong though, but I think about that amount. By the way, if you're not aware, I always write down the name of the lot or the name of my build or whatever I've done, uploaded to the gallery. I always write down the name that's on the gallery in the description down below, along with the lot size and also the price, and how many bedrooms and bathrooms that are in my houses as well, and also how many Sims there can be in the house. So if there are 4 bedrooms, for example, but 2 of them have double beds in them, it'll say 6 Sims, for example, so just so you know. I always write that down in the description. I keep getting questions about price and stuff, so I thought I would just tell you that you can literally just like scroll down and check the description. It's always there. But my point was, since they are a wealthier family, they needed their own bar, and I decided to go for these base game counters to start out with, but I actually ended up changing them to the vampire ones because I thought they were just a little bit nicer. Plus they came in this nice white swatch here that I use fairly often, I would say. I really like this swatch. I think it's very classy and pretty. And then I also changed the bar from that big one, that space game, to the vampire one, I think. It's kind of hidden because it's turned this way, so you can't really see the front of it. So the style of the bar it's fine. Like, I know it's very gothic, but I think it still works fine in this interior. I am using that one solely because the white wood from vampires, I think that's like the purest white we have in the game. As you can see on the counters, they don't have a nasty kind of light brown tint to them or even a mint tint to them. I think one of the white base game counters is like slightly green or something, or if it's like slightly blue, I don't remember, but these ones are just white, so that's why I really like them. And the same counts for the bar that I'm using. I'm only using that one because it's purely white. It doesn't have a some kind of tint of another color to it. It's just white, so I ended up using that one. But you can see that I'm also using vampire chairs or dining chairs, and then I'm using a base game table. And the chair over there in the corner, the black one, is from Get Famous. So I think that's the same one I'm using in the living room if I'm not mistaken, but I don't fully remember. We'll see that in just a few seconds. I was struggling a lot with the couches in this room, like a lot. As you can see, I basically just cut it out because it was like sped up by 5.5. It was still 2.5 minutes long, so I was just trying to place couches, and then I took them out and I didn't like any of them because I didn't want to put these black couches in the middle of the room and just darken down the entire room. But that's basically what I ended up doing, I think. I ended up putting in a Get Famous couch, this one, yeah, and then I decided to use these chairs, and I decided to go for the black anyways, but I really didn't want to start out with because I thought they were just a little bit too dark, and I was trying to make this house a little bit brighter, but I also didn't like the base game couches that I used just before. I think they look a bit like they're made out of like some kind of really rock hard material. I don't like that at all. Whereas these couches, or this couch right here, could look a little bit softer, so I decided to just, you know, just ignore the fact that they're black and just go with it anyways, and it's completely fine. I actually like how this living room ended up turning out. I think it's kind of classy, but at the same time a little bit over the top also, you know. I actually think the Get Famous items and the items that we got, or the items that we got from vampires, go really well together. There's just something about the, I think it's the color swatches or something, they just go really well together, so I have to do a build at some point where I use a lot of those items. I think it could either fit into this area up here in Shady Acres or possibly Forgotten Hollow. I have quite a lot of builds in both areas to still do for the save file, so it's probably gonna happen at some point, that's for sure. But anyways, in here we got the teens room, and it's not the most, again, not the most decorative room that I have done lately. Like I said early in this video, I was trying to make everything look a little bit more neat so there's not stuff just lying around everywhere like I usually do. So it's a lot neater, yeah, and it's been a while since I used that bed. I'll admit, I kind of forgot that it existed for a while, and then I randomly saw a picture of someone using it on Twitter, and I was like, wait a minute, this bed is from Seasons. Why are you not using it? Because it's amazing. I love it. So I'm definitely gonna be using that quite a lot or not lately, but in the next couple of builds maybe, or maybe not necessarily the next couple builds, but I'll be using it a lot more from now on. I just completely forgot that it existed, to be honest, and it does have a lot of nice swatches that you can do a lot of stuff with when it comes to color schemes. So yeah, we're gonna have fun with that one. But yeah, I also use this mirror over here on the left side that's a little bit over the top. It's from Get Famous. I think it's unlocked through careers or possibly through some kind of celebrity, like you have to get to a certain status or something to unlock it, but there is a cheat for that. In case you don't know, it's written in the description down below. It's the bb.ignoregameplayunlocksentitlement. It's really long and it took me quite a long time before I could completely memorize it myself. I had to look it up every time I built something because I just could not memorize it. Those 4 words apparently don't make any sense in my mind, like combined together. They don't make any sense to me apparently, so I was having a few issues remembering that one, but it's written down below in case you are curious. It basically just lets you use all the items that you otherwise have to unlock through careers, so it's quite handy if there are some of those items that you like. I remember one of the very specific items that I like to unlock through or with that cheat code is one of the plushies. I think it's the bunny one, but there's a swatch that's like white and then pastel colors. It's got spots on it, so the different spots are pink and mint and possibly yellow, but I don't really remember the last color, but definitely pink and green. And you have to use that cheat code to unlock that one. So I've been using that plushie quite a lot, and I have to type in the cheat every time I want to use it. but it's a lot easier once you memorize it, definitely. But in case you were curious, like I said before, it's written in the description down below. Also, you can place stuff in front of the wardrobes, by the way, as long as you put it on the left side of the wardrobe. It's the same thing with, is it bathtubs? Yeah, bathtubs or like shower bathtub combos. You can place stuff in front of, is it either the right or the left side? I think it's the left side if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So your Sims can still use the item because they enter the wardrobe through the right side of the wardrobe. So just a handy little trick right there in case you like to just clutter up your rooms like I do, or you want to add a chair and you don't really have a corner that's empty. You can just place it in front of the wardrobe and it's completely fine. It still works. So yeah, or put a mirror there as well. You can do that too if you want to, or just whatever you want to. It still works as long as you put it on the left side of the wardrobe. So just a handy little trick for those of you who may be wondering why I put the chair in front of the wardrobe. It still works, like don't worry about that. But anyways, in here we got the kids' bedroom, and I'll be honest with you guys, looking at this right now, I'm kind of remembering that I forgot a dresser. However, this kit does have a mirror, and the mirror works in the same way as a dresser would. So you can still change your outfits or plan your outfits through the mirror, but in case you really want that dresser, just take out the desk instead, or whatever else you want in this room, and there'll be room for a dresser instead. So yeah, I did have that discussion in my comment section not too long ago, because some people prefer when there is a dresser instead of a desk in the kids' room, and some other people are like, but it's fine, you got the mirror, for gameplay purposes you are covered, and it's nice to have a desk in there so they can sit in their rooms and do their homework. I'm personally like, as long as you got the mirror, it's fine, because you can do the same thing with the mirror as you can with the dresser. But let me know, like, what's your opinion on that, or are you a little bit indifferent as well? Do let me know. I also feel like I need like a day where I'm not doing voiceovers, by the way, because I definitely feel on my voice that it's taken a beating lately. StrangerVille, I've been doing a lot with this pack, and I've been making a lot of videos lately, you probably have noticed, but it's definitely hurting my voice just a little bit. I also need to sleep a little bit more, so sorry if my voice sounds a little bit shaky now and then. I am trying to control it as much as I can. I think I mentioned it in my last speed build as well, but my voice is just kind of, it's just taking a beating. I need some tea or something and it'll all be good. But anyways, we are on to the backyard. So I cut out the hallway on the upper floor, and then I also cut out that big room that you enter the house, like the first room you walk into once you enter the house, just because they weren't that interesting and the video was becoming a little bit too long. So anyways, in the backyard here, I think I said earlier, I put down a grill area under the tree over there in the other corner, and I put down a table there as well, so your Sims can sit and look over the nature if they want to. It has a really nice view. I turned it in a way so that everyone's sitting at the table, like we can just pretend like everyone's sitting at the table can actually look over the nature and see that amazing view over the canyon. It looks really, really beautiful from up, or from this plateau, sorry, English, anyways. So yeah, they have that little grill area over there, and then in this corner they have 3 plant pots and a flower arrangement table, and also the bird bath. And the bird bath is actually one of those items that I want to use all the time, but I'm having issues finding it in the catalog. I can never locate it. It's always gone for me. So whenever I come by just randomly while building, I'm like, I need to put this in the garden. This is so cute, because I really, really like that item. I don't know what it is. I just like the bird bath. Anyways, so I put that there, and that's about it for the backyard, I think. It's not a very decorated backyard, but it has everything the Sims should need, I think. So I'm actually really curious to see what the weather conditions are like in StrangerVille once you're past the storyline. Is it still the strange weather? Because once you go into the game, you notice that StrangerVille has its own weather that's called strange weather. So I don't know what kind of weather it's gonna be after the storyline is over. I never actually checked, but very curious to see if it's gonna rain at some point or snow at some point. I don't think so. Something tells me that that's not happening. Anyways, down here we got the basement that I was talking about before. So they have the big TV. I actually turn it into this kind of like a small entertainment unit where the TV is, and they also have consoles down here as well. I did put both of them in, even though they only use one of them, but it's just because, you know, in real life we have... Actually, we don't have an Xbox anymore because he died. So now we only have the PlayStation, unfortunately. RIP Onyx. Anyways, moving on. It was a very sad moment. But yeah, we have the PlayStation. But some people have 2 consoles or even 3. So I often put in both of the consoles just to like make it look like they have 2 different kinds of consoles instead. And other than that, they also have the Don't Wake Up the Llama table over here and also the dartboard, and that's about it. So if you like this build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And if you don't have a StrangerVille, by the way, you can still download this house. I haven't used a lot of items from StrangerVille. I think the windows are probably the biggest part of it, but you can just swap those out with base game windows, for example, or even the cats and dogs ones if you want to. I think the base game windows would be fine though. And then besides from that, I maybe used a few items on the inside, like these 2 entertainment units and that door over there on the left side, but I didn't use a lot of the buy stuff from StrangerVille at all, so you should be fine. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye!
When we kiss, when we touch, you have a way about you now. I find that I am defenseless somehow. Got nothing to reference, but a ton of guts to make amends. I won't be a victim of circumstance. Gonna figure you out somehow. Well, I'll be your getaway driver if you provide the wheels. I'll stand in the line of fire if you just tell me how it feels when we kiss, when we touch. How does it make you feel? 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 Yes, I'll be your getaway driver if you provide the wheel.